Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing and I'm going to give my first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy A11. This is yet again another addition to the Samsung Galaxy A line, which we have been extensively covering here on the channel. The price on this one is around $160. So what are we getting here for just $160? We're getting a 6.4-inch display. We're getting a dual lens camera setup in addition to a depth sensor. It comes with 32 gigabytes of storage and 2 gigabytes of RAM, but it does have a micro SD card slot to add additional storage, in addition to a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which should provide excellent battery life. We have the white color here, and this also comes in black, blue, and red. But let's go ahead and check out the Galaxy A11. On top here, we have some paperwork, which does not appear to include a case, which was the same story on the Galaxy A01. This did not come with a case, but the A31, 51, and 71 all came with cases. Have our device on top here. Let's see what else we get in the box. We have our 15-watt charger here, which is great to see fast charging on a device this inexpensive, opposed to some other brands charging you more than twice as much and giving you a charger from seemingly a decade ago. We have a USB Type-A to Type-C charging cable, which I am very happy to see here. The Galaxy A01 has a micro USB port for charging. Definitely Type-C here, which is great. We have our SIM ejection tool in the bottom of the box, and we get a pair of earbuds here. These are Samsung's cheapest earbuds and don't really sound that great, but it's nice that they actually include this in the box. But now let's take a look at the Galaxy A11. We have the Infinity O display design, which is just the hole punch cutout in the upper left corner here. Some other previous Samsung devices have had it in the upper right corner. Again, we have a triple camera setup. We have that primary lens, we have a wide angle lens, and we have a depth sensor. We also have a fingerprint scanner on the back of the phone here, which I really like on these budget devices because sometimes the built-in fingerprint scanner is kind of slow. Glad to see it come back here to some of these budget Samsung phones. Alright, first impressions, Galaxy A11 in hand. This actually feels like a pretty sturdy device, and this is a relatively larger phone with that 6.4-inch display. I thought this was going to be pretty similar to the Galaxy A01 because those camera modules are looking very similar, but this has more of a matte plastic finish, and this is a glossy finish. This A11 also feels a bit more rounded than the Galaxy A31, 51, and 71, which all have very similar designs and form factors. So physically here, liking the feel and look of this Galaxy A11. On the top, we have our headphone jack and a mic. On the left side, we have our tray for a micro SD card and a dual SIM setup. On the right, we have our volume rockers and power button. And on the bottom, we have our Type-C port, very nice to see that, and our single bottom firing speaker. But now taking a first look at this 6.4-inch 720p LCD display, we definitely have more of a chin on the bottom, similar to that of the Galaxy A01, opposed to the Galaxy A31, 51, and 71, which have a pretty minimalistic look in terms of their bezels. And the hole punch cutout isn't all too much larger than the A51 here, which has one of the smallest hole punch cutout designs I've seen. But I'm going to go ahead and finish setting this up, use it for the rest of the day, and come back with my first impressions. Alright, so I've been using the Samsung Galaxy A11 for a little while now, and I want to share with you some of my thoughts. So let's start with the face recognition. So as you can see here, the face recognition works fine, gets you into your phone quick enough. It works well. We also have that fingerprint sensor on the back, but as soon as you lay your finger on, you're into your phone relatively quickly. Next, I want to talk about just the overall form factor, design, and build. For $160, I'm really liking the overall design here compared to the A31, 51, and 71. It just has a little bit more of a rounded finish and just fits really nicely in the hand and feels great. Next, let's talk about the display here. We have a 6.4-inch display, which is great to see on a device this inexpensive. I know it's a 720p screen, so it's not going to look nearly as good, nearly as crisp as any of the other phones that I've been reviewing lately on the channel. We also don't have AMOLED here, so the colors are not going to be nearly as vibrant, but in average day-to-day use, it is plenty sufficient. It is really good enough. The screen also gets plenty bright, has a nice minimalistic design with the slim bezels, and there is just a little bit of a chin on the bottom, but when seeing that chin, I'm kind of getting a Pixel 2 XL vibe, that black and white Pixel 2 XL, and honestly, overall, it looks great to me. Now, when talking performance, this phone is definitely slower compared to the likes of a Galaxy A51 or Galaxy A71. But again, you are paying twice the price to get those phones. But it is worth noting that whatever it is you're doing, you can see here that there is just going to be a little bit of stuttering in the screen. It's not going to be a perfectly smooth experience even scrolling through YouTube here. Web browsing, it just takes a little bit extra effort to get through screens. General overall navigation, trying to get into applications, interacting with applications, like even just text messaging, typing in a website to go to a web page. It all just takes a split second longer than it would on some of these other phones with better processors. Looking at the gaming side of things, there's definitely going to be some sluggishness when you're playing games. I'm playing Stardew Valley right now. This is a game that I show on pretty much all of my videos, but you can very easily see here that when my character is moving with the camera, it is just trying to keep up with it, and it's just a little slow. You can see here that even just zooming in and out kind of gives it a little bit of a harder time. But with that said, the game still works. There aren't major lag spikes that completely stop the game or anything. Looking at Call of Duty Mobile here, the game actually runs pretty well. There is little lag spikes here and there like you saw just there. Oh, okay. Call of Duty Mobile is kind of hit or miss. So again, I would say the game is playable. Just know you're going to have lag. Next, let's jump into some YouTube content, see how the visuals look, and check out the audio quality. So it's been 71 days since I first got my hands on Samsung's Galaxy A71, and in my initial reviews, I'd recommended viewers to stick S10 Lite, Note 10 Lite, in addition to devices that are even more inexpensive with further cost-cutting measures. So in terms of watching YouTube and other content, the viewing experience is good here. The only thing I'll say is that the audio is not on par with the Galaxy A31, 51, and 71. It's just a bit quieter than on those other devices, but it is a significant improvement over the Galaxy A01, which if you watched my video on this phone, the audio clips out at max volume and is very distorted, but you can max out this phone. It's going to sound fine. It's just not as loud as some of the other devices in the Galaxy A line. And very quickly, talking cameras, it is a fine experience. So it's nice that we have a primary lens and a wide angle lens, and also the fact that we get this wide angle lens on the rear facing camera and also the front facing camera. But in my initial testing, I feel as if you are losing a lot of your image quality switching to that wider angle lens. But at the same time, I'm happy that there is a depth sensor in this camera to give you better overall shots. And that's going to bring us to my first impressions on the Galaxy A11. And honestly, for the price, I'm very happy with everything that is offered here. It is a significant upgrade over something like the Galaxy A01, which I personally paid around $125 for. So this coming in at just $35 more, this is a much better overall phone experience than you're going to get here on the A01. I also think the 4000 milliamp hour battery is going to be amazing for battery life. This is a lower resolution display, and it's just great to see at this lower price you're not having to sacrifice battery. We still have a taste of some premium aspects, like having the 15-watt fast charger included in the box and also having a Type-C port. I would say the biggest detriment to the A11 is its overall performance. It's just not going to perform as well as some other Samsung mid-range phones, and in that regard, if you have the extra money, I highly recommend going with something like the A51 for around $100 more. You're really getting a great value here, but again, it always comes down to price, and for $160, I can highly recommend the Galaxy A11. But what are your thoughts on the Galaxy A11? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing to the Shane Symonds YouTube channel today and hitting that bell icon for notifications. I hope to see you guys around for the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.